The way I see the Rio de Flag, it sort of runs through the heart of our community and it connects us together.
Biologically and ecologically, it's a link all the way through town. And we kind of tend to gravitate towards the stream channel.
You know, I think water has a really kind of strong place in our hearts.
Folks just walk it just to feel the environment, because the Rio de Flag fosters all this type of growth. It's just like a little linear park.
Kind of tend to live in Flagstaff and we think that, oh, everyone hikes the Futs Trail and everyone knows about the Rio, but what we learn with anywhere from kindergartners to sixth graders is that really that's not the case, and a lot of people don't know about the Rio de Flag. They don't know we have the Rio de Flag, and you don't even know we have the Futs Trail.
The Rio de Flag is the main drainage running through Flagstaff. Everything in Flagstaff drains into it. The watershed above Flagstaff drains into it, so although it's an ephemeral channel, it runs.
You can see, if you start at the headwaters of the Rio, these beautiful large floodplains that look kind of like grassy meadows, but have really wet soils and productive grasses. And then if you move downstream, you can see parts of the Rio dive into really deep canyons. We also see that the Rio is relatively undeveloped compared to the city, and it's kind of a ribbon of habitat where wildlife can move up and down and throughout the area.
The Futs Trail, the urban trail system, and the Rio de Flag were connected right at the birth of the urban trail. There were places like the city pond here that was full of trash. We all know what Sinclair Wash in the area south of town looked like. Through usage, people appreciate what's there. And when they appreciate what's there, they take care of what's there, and maybe they even foster its upkeep in a way that reproduces what it might have been naturally.
A lot of people enjoy riding their bikes, running, wildlife viewing, nature walking, all along the Rio, and I think there's even more potential for that if we expand the trail system.
A lot of times in places like Flagstaff, we get to enjoy the outdoors, but the Rio brings it right into our backyards, and so almost wherever you walk in Flagstaff, the Rio is you're gonna be close to the Rio.
I think a lot of times when we talk about the Rio de Flag, we think that it's specific to one neighborhood or one area of town. But the fact of the matter is the Rio de Flag runs throughout our entire city. And when there is a flood, a 100-year flood with the Rio de Flag, we're looking at a cost of $1 billion to repair the damage that would have been caused in that flood. So I think it's really important that when we talk about the Rio de Flag Flood Control Project, we understand that it impacts everybody in the city of Flagstaff. You know, sometimes when you drive through the South Side neighborhoods, you wonder, why does the neighborhood look like this? The reason being is because the neighborhood was literally thrown into a floodplain. And with this flood control project, we're going to be able to take an entire neighborhood out of a floodplain that was artificially created.
It's a long project, it's been going on forever. It comes and goes, but every time it comes, some decision is made and a different level is reached, and it's hard to go backwards. So I think it's very important to be engaged in that and talk about it.
When we talk about the Rio, we spend a lot of time talking about the damage that's going to be caused if there's a flood. What I hope the citizens of Flagstaff see is that with this flood control project being completed, we're going to have a beautiful riverway through our city.
This area before we started on the restoration was about 6 foot tall Scotch thistle. Really difficult to even walk through. Really poor habitat quality, really poor aesthetic quality, and really poor recreational quality because nobody would come here. About 10 years ago, people got interested and saw the potential of what Picture Canyon might be. We had just a huge amount of citizen support. People came out, 50, 60 people at a time to come help plant stuff, pick up trash.
One of my favorite things is taking students out to Picture Canyon and showing them the waterfall where the Rio kind of goes over, the only natural waterfall in Flagstaff. And I think the awe, if something is maybe as small as a waterfall is really magnificent.
Picture Canyon, which once was kind of a tragedy, is now a true amenity.
If we come together as a community to care for our river and create more of an amenity out of it, we will definitely reap the benefits.
Anywhere we take students to and we hit the Rio, their reaction is always of excitement, of wonder. Every time when people learn about it, they're excited about it.
I live along the Rio. It is the one place I look at every day. I have to say that crossing the Rio de Flag on my way to work every day, the highlight of the morning.